So today, we're proud to reveal the next chapter in Total War's historical legacy. It's a game we've dreamt of making for a very long time. This is more than just a new game. It's the rebirth of historical Total War.
Oh, yes, that's right, folks. If you haven't seen already, Total War released their 25th anniversary showcase. And yes, that's right. Medieval 3 has officially been announced with this trailer, which I'm definitely going to talk over at this time. Yeah, feel free if you haven't seen the full showcase, of course. I will be flipping through some different things, talking about some different things. I wanted to start with this because I am a Total War player through and through. I've been playing since the beginning, since the original Shogun Total War, way back in the day when I was definitely too young to be playing it, but regardless, Medieval 1 and especially Medieval 2 have a very special place in my heart. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know I use the Medieval 2 soundtrack as my kind of stream intro music, like whenever I'm taking a break on stream and other situations. So I am such a huge fan, obviously, of this time period. The developers are as well. And the fact that Medieval 3 even exists is amazing. Now, it is pretty clear from this live-action trailer, and they even make it clear, you know, throughout the developer interviews and everything, that they are very early in development on this. Medieval 3, there it is, officially confirmed after all this time of us wanting it. It's now finally here. So this is absolutely a game I will be covering when it comes out. Hopefully the multiplayer is great. I would imagine that just because of the hunger for historical Total War, as long as the battle mechanics are solid, multiplayer scene will naturally develop for this game. So definitely we'll be covering it when it comes. Like I said, it should be quite a ways away still, but incredibly hyped for this. Not really a lot to say right now. They are a little bit light on details here. There's a short developer interview where they talk about sort of the concepts and the history and, you know, some other things from a more high-level perspective that, you know, I definitely appreciate them doing their homework and really they're saying all the right things right now, but obviously it's hard to say until we get our hands on actual gameplay footage. I should mention, earlier in the showcase, before they actually officially announced Medieval 3, there was a short section about engine development. Here we see Steve interviewing Ellie and Roberto, two technology developers at Creative Assembly. They sort of work on the back-end tools, and they're announcing here the official new engine. So for those of you guys who don't know, Warscape essentially has been what they've been building on since Total War Empire. It's what, you know, it's been iterated on and developed quite a bit over time, and it is what even Total War Warhammer is currently built on. And you see here that they're talking about the new engine updates and everything, and just from what we see in the footage, it does look like a lot of the assets that they're working with are kind of generically, you know, medieval European, for lack of a better word. So I could see that. Well, from my guess, I should say that this is likely some very early assets created for Medieval 3, and that Medieval 3, of course, will be using the new game engine. Definitely very excited to see how things develop in that way. They talk about, you know, destructible environments for cover and different things. I'm interested to see kind of what iterative developments and what major sort of upgrades, new features we see in future Total Wars. Definitely a very exciting time from both these perspectives. Of course, there's also the unannounced new quote-unquote fantasy title, which they tease a little bit here at the end of the presentation, but they don't actually talk about at all. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And then, of course, we've got Nagash. The next DLC for Total War Warhammer is going to be a banger for sure, even as a certified undead hater. Well, I guess this is literally the end times for me. But I'm going to go ahead and play this trailer here. We'll talk over it a little bit and just show you what's going on. We see the hordes of undead closing in on this foul ritual. Definitely some evil happening here. and Arcan and Manfred, and you see the silhouette of the big bad, especially if you're me and somebody who just hates undead. Oh, yeah. No, it's going to be super fun, though. A lot of what they talk about with this as well. I mean, there's a pretty lengthy developer interview with Lore Master of Sotek, interviewing some of the Creative Assembly devs who have been working on this DLC, so I'll let you look at that on your own time. But, of course, Krell, we've got Luther Harkon here, all being called to serve by Nagash. This has got, what is that, Neferata? Ooh, very interesting. And we've got, what is that, Wallach, I believe? He's one of the Blood Knight legendary lords. Maybe the Blood Knight legendary lord. And then, of course, Manfred. Fancy new mount for him. So already we're seeing a couple new monster types, a couple new characters, etc. here. Spitting some bars right in Nagash's face, and is going to pay quite the price for it. Very, very cool. And all the big undead baddies gathering together, bending the knee to Nagash. Definitely going to be in for a brutally good time, no doubt. Lords of the End Times. So they're introducing some new kind of apocalypse scenarios. Of course, one featuring Nagash. There will be another one with Archaon and the Forces of Chaos as well, etc. Obviously not quite vanquished, just simply wounded for 5 turns. Will gladly return soon to lead his armies. And yeah, Nagash, with his books, with his spirits, incredibly cool, honestly. Super, super cool. I'm really, really excited for this. Even though I am a certified undead hater, I mean, Nagash is something we've wanted in the game for a long time, and I will certainly enjoy fighting him on the campaign map. And, you know, maybe secretly I'll play as him one time. Just don't tell anyone. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, really, really awesome. In the developer, in the showcase, yeah, we get some more confirmation about the new characters here in the developer showcase. The Tomb Herald, couple new lords. They also confirmed the Chimeric Titan, so it should be a DLC to update Tomb King's vampire counts, and hopefully Vampire Coast as well. Really hoping Vampire Coast doesn't get left sort of unloved and sad in the corner. But very, very cool stuff in terms of the concept art they're showing us, and based on my experience, it's the same team. It's the, Creative Assembly Sofia in Bulgaria. They're the ones who have created quite a bit of content that I've appreciated, especially on the campaign side, but even on the battle side. They're, the studio that created the most recent DLC that just came out today. Hopefully you all are enjoying Tides of Torment. Yeah, they also created Troy and Total War Pharaoh, and a lot of the campaign systems, like multiple resources, other things, they're quite fun. I will say I have enjoyed their work on the campaign map for quite some time, so I'm very interested to see how they're going to implement this. They show sort of the different campaign map overlays for these apocalypse scenarios, and how the maps change pretty substantially. Like the provinces change, some settlements become unoccupiable, right? So I'm very, very curious to see how that plays out. Hopefully we also have the option to play more of a traditional campaign without maybe an end time scenario, or maybe, have it specifically coded to come in like at a very late game stage. I don't know. Another thing they talk about here is bringing in some of the Realms of Chaos maps into Immortal Empires. So what I'm assuming that will be is there will be quest battles, maybe, or some narrative battles or something where you transport faction leader maybe into the Chaos Waste to fight against Chaos, of course, like on their home turf, maybe as part of that sort of Chaos Apocalypse event. Campaign map flyovers, though, definitely look very cool. We see giant areas of lush jungles and forests turn into burning wastelands, and giant warpstone craters, and just all-out destruction all the way across the map. Really, really cool. And, you know, visually at least looks quite striking. We'll see from a gameplay perspective how it really changes things up and maybe injects some new life into the campaign of Total War Warhammer, even though, you know, we've had content updates, new lords, new mechanics, new factions and everything, which has been quite fun. But something that, you know, implements this level of change that really is going to affect every single faction in the game, right? No matter who you're playing. If these end time scenarios are kicking up, you are no doubt going to be swept up in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, should be very, very fun. And that's all I have for you today. Mostly just hype. I mean, obviously a lot of it is wait and see. And given Creative Assembly's sort of recent history over the past few years, they've rebounded a little bit since the Hyenas fiasco and the, what was that, Siege DLC. It was so bad that I've honestly blocked out the name from my mind, where they really had to buckle down. You know, Creative Assembly went through a bunch of layoffs, and like, I don't want to sound too alarmist over things, but I just really hope that these upcoming projects they've got look and play great. I mean, obviously, the Nagash DLC, in my opinion, already looks pretty great. I'm hoping that it plays as good as it looks. And then, of course, Medieval 3 is so hype, it's going to be tough for them to live up to expectations of what people have, but they're saying all the right things right now in terms of how they want the sort of the high-level concepts to feel. Hopefully they can execute on that vision. It seems like they have a pretty good vision from what I can tell. So, definitely hopeful for the future. A little bit apprehensive just because if Creative Assembly fumbles any of these projects, it could be very bad overall for the company, but we'll try and keep things on a little bit more of a hopeful tone today and leave you with that. Like I said, hopefully you all are enjoying the Tides of Torment DLC. You multiplayers out there, feel free to send replays my way. I'm definitely looking for replays right now. I'm going to be out of town for a couple weeks in later December, so trying to get things recorded. For then, be sure to send me any awesome replays you get of any new stuff, old stuff, whatever you please. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking with me. It's been my pleasure to bring you this Total War content for all these years. We're going to continue to keep it going with what Creative Assembly has planned next. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.